Howdy folks, John with HillCo here. As many of you know, our family is selling out of our place here in Illinois and moving to Tennessee. Just as a note in case anybody didn't get the message, we are leaving our business mainly intact here in Illinois right now, eventually starting a location down in Tennessee, Lord willing. So as we're selling out of our house here in Illinois and clearing out, next week here we're going to close on this property and be out of here. So I thought it'd be fun to show you a little bit of the building where we all started. The building is here on our home property. We've got a couple acres here and a machine shed that was where HillCo got started. So I'll show you a quick tour. So this is the building, not real big. It is a, I think, 55 by 65 machine shed or something like that. It's around, what, 3,200 square feet or something along those lines. My wife's grandma and grandpa had owned this property, lived here, built the house, built the shed. So grandpa built this building in 1971 or something. Older pole barn building. And when we got here, when we bought the place, the building was just kind of mostly just a machine shed inside. It wasn't real nice. It was pretty dark and dingy, almost no concrete, dirt floor, and very poorly lit. It just kind of was like barely 2 light bulbs, I think, lighting the whole place, so it wasn't much to write home about, but it was nice structurally. We did do some structural work. Some of the posts were rotted off at the ground and whatever, so we did that, and then over time we poured concrete in the whole place. And I had originally, you can kind of see where the concrete's a little bit darker, transitions from darker to lighter right there. Originally I had a wall there, and it just kind of concreted this part here as my workshop. And then shortly after we got the business started, we ended up concreting the rest of it and insulating and nice lighting and new electrical and stuff in the rest of the building. So at the time, I thought I was big stuff. And it worked out nicely for about the first year and, I don't know, year and 3-4 months, something like that. I think we started the business in January of 2020, and we were moved out of here by May of 2021, so it didn't last real long. By the time I'll try to find a picture to post up here in the video, by the time we were cleared out of here, we literally had stuff stacked floor to ceiling, no joke, and we literally had boxes stacked so high right in the middle here. I remember that it was literally touching the ceiling. So at first I used to make my own hive boxes and bottom boards and lids and stuff. It's kind of partly how I got started, was kind of a woodenware, trying to manufacture some woodenware for myself and then start selling to other people. So I would bring in boards here, bring in bunks of lumber, of 1-bys here. I would cut them down. I had a miter saw there on that table with a fence there and a dust collection system. And I would cut the boards to length. I'd have them on a cart. And as you can see, we got kind of 220 volt outlets and 110 volt outlets all on this wall here. Then I think I had for cutting boxes, I would cut them to length on the miter saw set up there. Then I had a table saw here with a dado stack and a power feeder. I would cut the frame rest slots right there. And then let's see, I had a dust collector in here somewhere. There was also a big sliding table saw that I used for cutting some panel goods, as well as I would use that for ripping the boards down to length for boxes. So for example, cutting a 1x12 down to the 9 5/8 inch width that you need for a deep hive body, for example. And then I think at this station we had, or one of these two, maybe the dust collector was here. I think we had plumbing all through here with blast gates and everything. And then right here I had my finger joint machine. I would cut the box joints in the hive bodies. And then I believe here we had a shaper machine with special cutters installed to cut the handles in the boxes. So it wasn't a big deal. I could produce maybe a couple hundred boxes a day if I really stayed after it, but that only lasted for several months. By the time I got into it pretty good, the business was taking off as far as selling extractors and things of that nature. I decided I really didn't enjoy the monotony of just cutting boxes all day, every day. Also, I wasn't buying lumber at the time in large enough loads. I wasn't able to buy truckloads. I didn't have a place to store truckloads of lumber, for that matter, as well. And so I wasn't able to buy lumber as competitively as I wanted to, and lumber costs were going up at the time there in 2020. And so I ended up just eventually selling off all the equipment and buying hive bodies from other U.S. manufacturers. That's what we've been doing ever since. And but anyway, yeah, this is it. It's again, at the time it was pretty exciting. Now it seems really small. We have been using this building as overflow storage for HillCo for ever since we left, quit using this as the main place. We still been using overflow storage stuff here, and but now again that we're moving and got the place sold, we had to clear all that out, and we finally pretty well got her finished up last night. A couple minor things to get out here yet, but forklift and mower obviously are going with us. But yeah, most of the stuff is out of here, and so kind of the end of an era, you might say. And so I guess I'm not a particularly sentimental guy, but it maybe makes me feel a little bit nostalgic, I guess, seeing this and thinking about how it was, a few years ago, and God has blessed us so much, and so many people around us that have helped us along the way. Great customers, of course, that have been so supportive, so kind, and so yeah, it's just amazing really to see how far we've come, and Lord willing, how far we're going to go yet. We don't believe we're done growing by a long shot. And so future's exciting, but the past is fun to look at too. So anyway, thanks for watching.